Hi there, my name is Deepak Kamath. A very brief introduction to me and my rides is I'm the only Indian to have ridden my motorcycle across all the 7 continents, and that includes Antarctica as well. So that's a one-line introduction that I would like to share with you all. Many may know me from my earlier rides with the Bajaj Dominar, which is the Dominar Trans-Siberian Odyssey, which was through the 6 countries of the Stan countries before eventually ending the ride in Magadan over the Road of Bones. And very next to that in 2018 was a massive ride between the American continents, covering about 51,000 kilometers across 15 countries, and eventually I took my motorcycle into Antarctica. Well, that is history. Now what's coming up next? So I have a very interesting ride on the radar. I'm continuing to use the Bajaj Dominar, this time the UG model, the most latest one with a lot of new accessories that the company has launched. With a lot of feedback from Odyssey riders, we have done already 5 Odysseys for the brand, and we are looking at doing the great continent of Africa, and eventually I'll end my ride in Europe. Now, it's important that for a ride like the Dominar Afro-European Odyssey, it's important that I prep the machine the way I like it. Knowing the terrains that I would challenge myself and the machine, it's very important that I don't get into a situation wherein I'm stranded in the middle of nowhere. Now, I'll quickly walk you through the setup the way I believe helps me to take on roads less traveled, number one. The kind of components and the products that I would I would choose to use on this ride, and how are they going to benefit me to have a trouble-free Odyssey along the next 6 to 7 months is what I'm looking at. To start with, the ergonomics. If people have seen my rides before, like take for example the Trans-Siberian Odyssey or the Polar Odyssey, aesthetically I want a very beautiful looking bike, and that includes no straps on the tank or no bungee cords strapped all over. So a luggage system is what makes traveling a beautiful experience, because your luggage is well set, you are trouble-free concentrating on the road ahead. Now, I have a very beautiful system that has been sent to me by Givi, Italy. This model, I'm using the Dolomiti because it is one of their oldest and most beautiful panniers that I know of. The nice curves, very spacious 36 liters of space on either sides. I choose not to go beyond a 30-liter top case for the simple reason that I don't want to keep my helmet in a top case. It's a functional top case. So for me, it's mostly the electronics that I carry in this. As you can see, the whole setup is mounted on the Hyperrider frames. Over the last 2.5 months, I've been working closely with the team at Hyperrider, and we've come to creating a product that I see to take on the torture of some of the, well, let's say some brutal roads of the wild west of Africa. So what we have done is we have taken off the plate that comes with the Hyperrider stock setup, and given just 4 points of mounting to fix the Givi plate onto the Hyperrider top rack. And this box, the Dolomiti 30 liters, very beautifully and snugly fits in and stays there the way it should. What we have also done is reinforced certain points to make it more robust to carry these 36 liters into 2 panniers. Now, it's important that the luggage stays safe, and hence, it's a global debate where people choose to have soft luggage or hard case. So in my case, I've been a hard luggage guy. I found it more convenient from a safety aspect of the belongings that I used to travel. and hence my choice goes with the hard luggage system, and for which we've Givi has this specific mounts which are fixed onto the saddle stays of Hyperrider, and hence you see this setup the way it is. Now, coming back from the luggage system as such, one of the most talked about things has been the seats that have been designed and used over the last many rides that I've done. I see the community continuously asking me about the seats, and there was a time where I did encourage people to reach out to me for getting these seats, the so-called Armstrong seats, because there's intelligence inside which helps to go on for long distance without having a sore bum. Well, I would really love to share this piece of intelligence, and you'll very soon see this product coming out for you to enjoy the way I'm enjoying on my rides. Coming out from the seat to one of the most important thing in my ride would be a tank bag. The very reason that I have a tank bag is, these are things that I need later in the day or for the evening, or not so occasionally during the ride. But this is something that will have my immediate needs. Like, I might want to keep my passports here, I might want to keep my cash, I might want to keep anything that I stop, I open the zipper and I get it. And ideally I would go in for a 12 to 15 liter capacity, for the simple reason that I really don't want to burden. The more capacity you have, remember, you'll start dumping in things that you don't need, and that's something that we are really used to. So I use this, there's a tank lock ring which makes it a very easy on and off. As you can see, there's absolutely no straps dangling around anywhere. Aesthetically, the machine looks very beautiful. This is the way I like it. Well, I'm 5'11". Obviously, the handle is a little low with a raised seat. So when I sit, I almost have a 90-degree seating position, which is more comfortable for me to kind of enjoy my rides over a longer distance. And hence, when that becomes, this becomes comfortable, the handle was a little lower. So what I do is I have a pivotal raiser that's been done, customized again to a 50 mm height. Obviously that calls for longer cables to be done, which has been done, and the stance of the ride is really beautiful. It takes away any ache that one might experience at the shoulder joints, which gives which is another added benefit of getting these raisers with almost 1.5 inch raised seat and that stance of riding over long distances. As many of you would be aware, Bajaj has just about launched the new version with a lot of touring accessories, true to what the bike was introduced as a sports tourer. You have some very beautiful knuckle guards. You have a very beautiful and functionally and aesthetically looking nice visor. You have a phone mount that has come in, and you have a USB charger as well, in case your phone runs out of charge. And of course, the company has also given a top rack, but considering the weight that I would carry, it does not suit my needs, and hence we worked around with Hyperrider to get this part of the setup done. And of course, one thing what I really loved is a new bash plate that has got a certain amount of critical area where it is protected by metal. Now remember guys, this is a sports tourer. This is not an enduro bike. This is not like the KTM 390 Adventure where one would want to do a wheelie and pop it on terrains where it can get really challenging. This is a fair mix of good and bad roads, and to a certain extent it can go off the road as well. So this is where this machine comes into the picture. So do not expect lot of circus on this kind of a machine that I have prepped it. I really want to see the world in the most beautiful way, and the way this machine is prepped just does that much. One thing that I would also like to add on, no matter what the company does, this is something that we all should learn. Machines roll out of the production, and it is up to us to refine and customize it the way we would want the machine to be. It is very important to understand what kind of rides that you are up to, and accordingly, like prep the machine. Like for my long rides, I need really comfortable seats. Now, in case of a pop, in case of a fall, I have reinforced this with barkbusters, and the company provided knuckle guards are mounted on this barkbusters. So this is not a standard fitment from the factory, but this is, I've retained the original look of the knuckle guard, but I have used the barkbusters as such. Now, I've tried the new visor from the company. It's really good. It just deflects the wind just as much, keeping this part absolutely in pin drop silence, because I'm a rider with a lot of music playing. I don't want to listen to the honking sounds in the traffic. There's music playing in my ears all the time. If my helmet is on, trust me, there's something playing in there. Okay, so the next thing that I would, being a two-wheeler, it's important that we make use of whatever amount of space that we can effectively use to keep whatever we want to carry. Now, on the Hyperrider crash bars, what I've really done is I've got two of the tool box on either side mounted, and the tools are in here. And what really helps me is the ease to access the tools, or whenever I need it. And then what I've also done is I've got this charger here, which is the cigarette lighter charger, basically to get the just in case I have a flat, so I can use the air pump plug to this. Now, this is again utilization of space on whatever we have. So I have a GoPro mount here, which I believe is a beautiful position to get some really crazy angles of the floor and the landscape as such. I've really got some nice shots from my Trans-Siberian and my Polar, and hence I continue to keep one here on the bar. And what really I like about this is, one, this bar comes on two pieces. Now God forbid I end up meeting with a crash here. Definitely I'm going to lose some of this, but I'm sure the Hyperrider guy is going to send me one bit in case I crash somewhere, or this is going to hold up strong, because this is one bit and this is another bit. So let's see with the, I don't intend to get into crashes, not that I have before, but you never know. So being prepared is one way of keeping ourselves ready for whatever the outcome is. I did mention about the bash plate, absolutely robust, very, very nice material that the company guys have used. This metal part, anything that flies away, or just in case there's impact, it really takes up that much of a beating. Okay, one more thing that's been added on to the Odyssey machine is a completely new, a beautifully looking beak, which has been designed with the Hyperrider team. It is an aesthetically nice looking beak. Hopefully, we'll be able to refine it and make it more a functionally a beautiful looking beak as well. The next thing that I see from a company, what they have provided is a very beautiful a mount which comes along with the visor to hold your number plate. 3442. I really love to flaunt my registration plates, so it looks really nice, and that's something that I'm really appreciative about. Finally, there's been a lot of people who ask about the maintenance of the chain. I've been there by using a lot of cleaner sprays and the lubing sprays that would have otherwise been here in the tank bag or in one of my panniers. But what I've realized is, they do take a lot of space, and these aerosol cans are big, but what's inside them is only this much. So I've been encouraging the community to go in for Scott oilers or anything similar to the functionality of that particular equipment, because once you have the drip system there, it keeps your chain absolutely clean. Scott Oiler oils have got this proprietary oils which actually lubes when it cleans. With the Scott Oiler, what I've really felt is one, I'm not carrying unnecessary load, or it's more of a space consuming aerosol cans, and that's completely gone. I just carry about say 200 or 250 ml of oil and keep replenishing this small container here, and I have this system where I can adjust as to how frequently I need the drop into the chain. Now for plain good tarmac road, I use one drop probably every 30 seconds or a minute, and I map that using this. It's a manual one, it's not an electronic one. So I keep this manual the way I like it. If I have to open it up fully max, this is more towards when riding in rains or riding in slush. So the proprietary oils of Scott Oiler does its job even faster and better. But generally, I would leave it at about say 30 seconds, one drop, so the chain stays absolutely clean. I guarantee, at least for the kind of rides that I do, I have seen my chains last for about 16 to 20,000 kilometers, and I ride really hard, and it's fully loaded bikes as well. So guys, if you want to take a suggestion from me, get one of those. Alright, then what I've also done is I have extended this stand. It's a little crudely done. I was running out of time, but that has helped me straighten the bike a little more, so that when the luggage system sits in, the bike does not lean too much. So that's one bit that's been done on this bike as well. Well, what I've realized is just because we have lot of space in our luggage, the panniers or the top case or the tank bag, it's very important to know what is it that we would want to carry to make sure that we are not unnecessarily burdening the bike. This is a 400cc bike, and the power to the wheels is hardly about say 30 Newton meter torque. So I'm very conscious about what goes on and where we can try and avoid unnecessarily loading the machine. So the distribution of the luggage is very important to make sure that the bike does not get heavier on one side. I mean, anything can happen on the road, so the bike has to be perfectly balanced. So we're looking at the crash guards are almost negligible in weight. They still weigh about 4.7 kilos between the two of them. That's 4 pieces, which is, I believe it's okay. I mean, it needs to carry a certain amount of load of the tools, and it needs to functionally do its job in case there is a, you know what. The top rack with the saddle frames also are roughly around about 4.5 to 4.6 kilos. That again is a fabulous control of, see, for me these are dead weights. They are meant to carry the additional luggage that's gonna do. So practically I would want them to feel weightless, and that's exactly where they are placed. The load that I would eventually put on my panniers would be limited to about say 12 to 13 kilos. So 12 to 13 kilos, the Givi pannier, the Dolomiti, weighs about 4.4 kilos, and I'm adding another 8 to 9 kilos of, it can be a combination of spares and my daily wear, toiletries that would go inside this, and that gets mounted onto the Hyperrider frames. So 12 to 13 kilos of load on each side is a balanced one in case I need to put my leg down on either side. This should not hamper in case I have to put my feet down. Well, once you have seen the entire length of this video, in case you think that if you have a specific question for me, leave it in the comments, and I'm happy to update you or leave a suggestion, and any recommendation that you would seek from my side, I'm happy to do that as well. For now, this is Deepak signing off. Be sure to follow me on my rides. It's getting interesting. It's another couple of weeks and you will see some exotic destination through my eyes.